You are listening to the Foamy Heads podcast, where we discuss craft beer and anything else that accompanies a glass.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right.
Foamy Heads back. New episode of the show. Hanging out at Smokers Abbey, Gallatin Avenue, Nashville. Got a lot of beer. Well, soon to be beer on the table, Mitch. Soon to be beer.
There was beer on the table. Then we strategized and we came to a consensus on one.
Yes. On one, just to start. And we got cigar smoke filling the room, too. I'm excited about that. It's not as good as Fresh Air, but it's a good second best, so I'm happy with that. Comfy accommodations. Shout out to Smokers Abbey. We got the whole back room to ourselves tonight.
Got the VIP treatment.
The
Yeah,
VIP treatment. Joining us today on the third mic that you just heard, fellow lover of beer, prominent voice in the craft beer community. He's collaborated with breweries in the area, such as Bearded Iris, to create their cinnamon roll-inspired rollout stouts. And he's the voice for the craft beer podcast, The Beerded Tastings. Kramer, welcome to the show, man. The Beerded Brother in the house.
Yes. What's up, world?
Hey, there's the tagline.
Hey, it's your boy.
I was actually hoping he was going to do that.
I was like, I got to remember to do that on other people's podcasts.
Yes.
You
rocked it.
Thanks for coming, man. This is a good time tonight. This has been discussion probably a couple months in the making, kind of little conversation here and there in the beginning. It kind of fell off, and then we jumped back in, and now we're here.
Yes. I'm glad to be on, guys. I've been following you guys and keeping tabs on you guys. So I was excited when y'all slid in my DMs. I was like, hey, let's do an episode. I was like, finally, I made it. Mama, I made it. Yes.
Mama, I made it, Mama.
Man, you're the one rocking with beer every day now compared to us, man.
Trying, working at Jackalope. It keeps you in that industry quite heavy. So I'm not mad about it.
How long you been at Jackalope?
I've been there since August of 2021. So it's been going on 5 years, almost 5 years, 5 months. Math is hard. It's fine. 6 months almost.
Yeah.
So
well, you're not drinking beer yet, and you're already bad at math.
Right.
That's okay, though.
I'm the same.
That's how I had to cheat through high school. So sorry, Mom. Some secrets I had to let out.
Man, so we have a lot of beer tonight, and we're going to power through a lot of these shareable cans and everything, and then we got some heavy hitters later. Mm-hmm. And thanks to Ale Sharpton, we still have a few beers left to share the love with from Atlanta, Georgia. So
that's ridiculous.
Please tell me y'all have piano keys, because that's been eluding.
Funny story, man.
Oh, no.
Atlanta's got this bullshit rule like Tennessee on Sundays where you cannot buy or purchase any beer until after 12:30, and piano keys were right in front of us, and we couldn't buy it. And we had to head home after 2 recordings that day, and weren't able to make it back to the Stout Brothers. Is that what it was?
Yeah, Stout Brothers.
Yeah, but I'm hoping they still have some, because I really do hope we get back. Get back to Atlanta soon. They got a lot happening down there.
Oh yeah.
That one, it was such a good time, and unfortunately, we were actually we were put in contact with Ale while we were in Atlanta, while we were talking with Peter at Monday night. Peter Kiley, shout out to Monday Night Brewing, and so we talked to Mitch, your friend Steve West. He hooked us up with Ale, and he was like, "Yeah, no doubt, let's do an episode." So we drove down to Atlanta, hung out at Monday night, and then the next day just kind of recovered, drank some beers, and then on Sunday got a chance to meet with Ale Sharpton, and then we were a couple hours before we were supposed to meet him, and we stopped in at the Stout Brothers, saw the piano keys there, and we were like, all right, let's buy some. And he was like, I can't sell beer to you until, what was it, 11:30? 12:30 or something like that.
We could get draft.
We could get draft beers, and they didn't have piano keys on draft, so we had it sitting in front of us, and we could not buy it.
Oh, the ultimate disrespect.
Yeah.
But if Ale comes back up here, he said he'd reach out, so maybe he'll have some piano keys on him. If you're listening, Ale, we need some piano keys.
Yes.
I will Venmo you.
I'll chip in as well.
Exactly.
Or Venmo. I'm on Cash App and something else. There's so many things out there now that
I can't tell you the last time I walked into a bank to withdraw money.
Right, yeah. And I'm thankful for that, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't like going to the banks, but.
And speaking of ale, so this one was actually from him, right?
It is. It's one of the. I think he gave us 2 of those.
2 of each. Yeah. So this is the Padre Mission Lager. We had this on a prior episode actually, and from Bold Monk Brewing. Amazing food at Bold Monk, and their beer is phenomenal, and their food is great. And this is one of the best lagers that I've had in such a long time. It's easy drinking, super smooth, and it just tastes amazing.
It looks incredible. We've got low light here, but doing what we can with it.
Nice orangey glow, which you kind of want. So this is good. I need to check out Bold Monk. I'm from Atlanta. Born and raised. Well, childhood is Atlanta. I came up here for school. So I like to say my childhood's Atlanta, my adulthood is Nashville. So check them out.
Similar for me as well. I moved from Atlanta to Nashville probably when I was around like 12, 13 years old. So I didn't get most of my my coming ups in Atlanta, but all the experiences I have are from Nashville, so it's fun to just go back to Atlanta to see the industry grow in general.
I had
a mini vacation.
Yes.
I've been in Nashville my whole life, but I had my first Belgian in Atlanta. At Octane Coffee Bar.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. I'm trying to remember. St. Bernardus.
Yeah.
Yes.
Abbott 12.
That's what got you into craft beer.
It really did. The Belgians captured me into the craft beer, and they did. And we, as far as hops go, that was a different story. Getting into IPAs, and it was a hop slam that brought me in, and it was Dogfish Head for you, Richard.
Yeah, I want to hear Kramer's story too. I'm very interested in hearing. So we were in the humidor while you were setting up, Mitch, and we were kind of figuring out what cigars we wanted to enjoy tonight. And started looking around and started talking about, talking with the people that work here. And he came in. It's like, it's having a lighter cigar. People that say, "Oh, I only smoke dark cigars," or I don't drink light cigars. That's like saying I don't drink light beer anymore. I only drink dark beer. And from there, it's like we kind of moved into what got us onto beer and everything. And Kramer here across from me goes, one of the first IPAs I had. Well, I'll let you say it, but it's a very similar story to mine.
This is probably after my first intro into craft beer. My first intro was a Belgian ale from Shock Top. It was their orange. I think it was a Belgian blonde. It's in the orange can.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, my roommate showed me that one because I was just drinking Heineken, maybe a Blue Moon, but I thought I was at the pinnacle of beer when I was drinking Heineken. You couldn't tell me anything. My roommate was like, "You idiot. Come here. Try this." And then that was the floodgate. Of course, when you think you know something, you get overly confident. So I went to Burger Republic in the Gulch. Nothing against the restaurant.
Right.
Fully brought this pain on myself. It was a Green Man. Cannot remember what it was, but it was one of their West Coast, cut your tongue off kind of super hoppy and resiny, and it just let you know it was an IPA. And I drank it way too early in my craft beer drinking journey. I had it, and it almost ruined my growing love. Yeah. It was just so much, and you're a guy, you got ego, so you're like, "Oh yeah, this is fine," but in your head you're like, I think I'm dying. I think I'm literally passing away from all these people in this restaurant.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh my God. I just had to power through it, and then ever since then I was like, yeah, I need to slow down and get my life together and start creeping up to it. Now, 5-6 years later, 1,000 beers later, I'm like, I probably would like it now. But back, I still it's etched in my head.
Oh man, you gotta try it again.
Oh yeah, I've had some of their other stuff, and I really enjoyed it. So
it's that. Okay, it's that one alcohol where you just do too much of, and you go, it probably tastes good, but I've had too many bad memories.
Yeah,
ingrained into my head. I don't think I could go back and drink it again. But I get that, and IPAs it's definitely an acquired taste.
Most definitely.
It's not one. You go something like this, and somebody goes, "Oh, I'm looking for something light," and you go, "Oh, let's try this this lager from Bold Monk." This is an easy drinker. Anybody here at this table could sit down and appreciate that. Going, there's a lot of flavor, but it's not strong. It's just easy drinking. if this is what you're used to, and then you pop an IPA with 100 IBUs, 200 IBUs, like you're getting your ass kicked.
Yeah, or even too heavy of a stout, you're just like
same thing.
Oh
yeah.
Oh, wait a minute.
No doubt. My first one was actually 120 minute. Well, it was. I'm trying to remember. It was either 120 minute IPA, which I think that was my first. I had a share of that, and I was like, "Ooh, IPA! This is really hoppy, but it was really sweet, right? 18%. So I was like, it was really sugary and sweet, and I was like, this is what IPAs are supposed to taste. That's not what an IPA tastes like typically, because then I think my next one was Stone Ruination or Ruin 10, triple dry hop, triple IPA from Stone Brewing, and that was like, it melted my face off.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was my chill moment. I had to kind of calm down.
Oh, man. So, I don't know about you guys, but I ended up with a, let me look at the name again. I'm not familiar with it. I know they're a big cigar.
Alec Bradley?
People. Yeah, Alec Bradley. Yeah. The Kintsugi. No idea other than looks like a medium body cigar. It's lighter, and it goes great with the lager. Just saying. It works very well together.
Yeah.
Easy drinking, easy smoking.
I've got a Jericho Hill from the Crown Heads, so Mexican Habano wrapper on the outside, or Mexican chocolate wrapper, so little bit on the sweet side, but also real peppery in the middle, so it's pretty good. And I think they gave you a Suede. Is that what it was called?
I think this is a Suave by Emilio. It's very easy smoking. Like, this is definitely a conversation type of cigar. You just, I almost forget that I'm smoking. I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm smoking a cigar right now, and I'm not a huge cigar smoker like at all. This is like a new language for me. So like, I feel like this is how I needed to be introduced to craft beer, not Green Man. Like,
right? Yeah, it's not the IPA.
Stayed on the light side until I was like, okay, I'm ready to venture up to medium body now.
Yes.
Instead of going to the darkest, dankest thing they have.
Yes.
And just embarrassing myself on the mic. So.
Man, you'd be in good company embarrassing yourself on the mic here.
when I a year into craft beer, it was the kind of craze that came here with the high gravity beers. And then I just kept tanking myself everywhere with high gravity beers. It's like a year after that, it's like I better slow down. I'm not enjoying the beer. I'm just getting hit with the alcohol and the benefits after the fact. But then I think we started recording after like another 6-7 months after that journey, because they were like, we should talk about beer.
There's such things. Some people, I guess, are doing these beer podcasts nowadays. It's really weird. Maybe we've heard of a couple of them before.
I'm loving it. Everyone is starting to kind of get more into the scene especially after the pandemic in 2020. And it was amazing to see everyone just put their time and put discussion into beer. And I think not just the people who are buying the beer, but the people creating it and pushing the effort to make better beer, sell better beer, and be able to, I guess, sell all sorts of types of beer, especially the high gravity. That's been a challenge from what I hear. But
yeah,
I don't work in the industry, so I don't hear enough about it, but it's just, it sounds like a struggle even to this day, but things are improving year after year. So,
yes, for sure. Definitely.
This is good. I'm just about finished with mine. I'm getting ready to crack open the next
I've been
one.
sipping it. It's a damn good one, man.
Yeah.
The nose is really nice on it, too.
Oh, yeah. This is super easy. Nothing too in your face, but, like, again, perfect with the cigar I'm drinking. Just easy. Just knock it out. Crack open another one before. That's what makes these kind of session beers, like, kind of scary sometimes.
Yeah,
Like,
yes.
You're not paying attention. Next thing you know, you're, like, 5 in. You're like, oh no.
Like, oh, shit.
It doesn't hit you till you stand up, right?
Right. I was
Yeah.
like, I got things to do. Like,
Ooh.
So this is the Don't Haze Me Bro. It's the hazy IPA from Pontoon Brewing.
All right.
Straight out of, I'm trying to remember. Pontoon's not Marietta. Is it Marietta, Georgia?
yes.
I'm trying to remember. I know they're close to Atlanta. I haven't been.
Well, they say Sandy Springs, but it's
Sandy
like
Springs,
I think they're like
close enough. Yeah, that's close enough.
I think they're more on the like city limits
Yeah.
somewhere out there.
Yeah.
I need to get out there. Shout out to Pontoon.
Yeah, for real.
I hear a lot of good things about their beers. I just haven't had many.
They're good, and their can art's always been on point. They kind of remind me of a a more tame. Who's the one that does the brown note? It's got like the shat stained underpants.
Oh God, their art was ridiculous.
You know what I'm talking about?
I'm trying to
They've
think.
got
Exactly.
a lot of their can art
real,
is very
like, looks like
reminiscent
Captain
of that.
Underpants kind of
Yeah,
art.
it
Yeah.
does. So
That's gonna bother me.
So figure go with the hazies next before we kind of start getting into the saisons and the stouts. But this one was really good. I enjoyed this one last night, and it was super tasty. It's not overly hoppy, kind of sweet, New England style IPA. It's not dry hopped, I don't think.
We're gonna hate ourselves for not knowing this one. Against the grain.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's what it
Yeah,
is.
that's what it is. It's like as soon as I hear it, I was like, I see the can, but
Yes.
like the name of the beer is blurred out.
Yeah.
Writer's block.
Right.
Yeah. So Kramer,
is good.
talk to me about the bearded tasting. So how did you, in general, how did you get into the podcasting scene, and what drove that inspiration to start that up?
Well, it was like a kind of just like a happy accident. Shout out to Bob Ross.
Hey,
It
happy
was
little
just,
beer over here.
oh yeah. I just posted something on because I was working at Tailgate at the time. It was the Christmas party. I was like, I turned to my girlfriend at the time, now fiance. I was like,
Congratulations, by the way.
Yes.
thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah, getting married this year. We've been engaged we'll be a year in May, and then we've been together. It'll be 4 years this year. So
Okay, sweet.
but I still remember to this day. I just looked at it, I was like, I think I just want to chronicle just taking pictures of my beer. Like I enjoy beer, and I want other people to enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had another friend, Shawnee, the Black Beer Experience.
Mm-hmm.
She just like, hey, you want to do a podcast? So I was like, I wanted. It was in the plan, but not right when it started. I was like, well, since I want to do it, I might as well do it now. I have an opportunity to get into the game and learn that. So we did that for about a year and some change.
Mm-hmm.
And then we just, our brands just started kind of just picking up a little bit, and we just had to focus on, it was in that like realm of where like you kind of had to focus on to keep going.
Yeah.
And then we just realized like the swig was kind of like falling through the cracks.
Oh.
And so like, unfortunately we went our separate ways. We're still really great friends and things like that, but we just had other things going on outside of that. We wanted to focus on. And so, will we come back? Who knows?
Yeah.
But then after that, I just like kind of just took time and just was learning about the beer industry, and I kind of just picked up on starting the beer tastings and sitting there and around speaking with black people about craft beer community and just educating them and just having a conversation like we're having.
Yeah.
And kind of just talk about the beer and show them that there's people, that there's more than just the Heinekens, the Blue Moons,
Yes.
the Budweisers, the Bud Lights.
Yes.
And that there are breweries just sometimes right down the street from you. You don't even realize who they are or what they do until like I put the can. You're like, I live next there. I've seen that place. That's a brewery. I'm like, yeah, like try that. And then people, I've had so many people have that aha moment, which is like one of my favorite things in craft beers.
Yes.
Like when people like find the beer they like, or they understand like, oh, this is what beer can be.
Oh man.
I had Bud Light and I hate Bud Light, but I had the Southern Crisp from Southern Grist. That's
Amazing.
Yeah, it's incredible, and it's a lot. It tastes as if like Bud Light tried to make a good beer. And
Right.
that's what Southern Crisp reminds me of, or like Pilsner's from a craft beer. It's like this is what this style is supposed to taste like.
It's eye opening when you taste all those flavors for the first time. And I wish there was a quicker way to get the word out everywhere, you know?
I know.
But
And you've been getting into some crispy boys, Mitch, haven't you? You've been getting into the Pilsner game a lot lately.
I don't even remember when it might have been 2019. Whenever Southern Grist did their Southern Crisp.
Yeah.
That was
the first
what
one.
brought me back into like Pilsners and everything.
Right.
And then what really anchored it was Smith & Lentz's selection.
Hands
Even
down.
more, yes.
Yes.
They had an Italian Pilsner
Yes.
like a couple years ago before the tornado in 2020. That was just.
Oh,
They had one. I think I might be talking about the same one. They had one that was like with lemongrass or something in it. It was like lemonade back then. That was
Sounds
just
really good.
Yeah,
it was so refreshing, and it was just clean. It was like you tasted the lemon, but you didn't taste like the tartness.
Yeah.
It was just like somehow they pulled
Refreshing.
the flavor. The refreshing part of the lemon and put it in there. It was just
It's the side of Sprite that you're expecting to taste, but don't actually really taste when you drink Sprite.
right.
Yeah.
Basically.
That's exactly what it is.
what it is. So Mitch and I actually had it's an unreleased episode, but we were actually supposed to be up here at Smokers Abbey one night just recording and doing some of the tastings that we had with some of the beers that we had, and we could not get a seat near an outlet no matter what. We waited outside probably an hour, smoked a cigar, Mitch.
Yeah, we did.
And we just couldn't get a spot in here. It's just so busy. And then we're like, well, where can we go? It was Sunday night, I think. Most things were kind of closing down, and we started looking at places that were open, and we're like, well, Smith & Lentz is still open for another couple hours or whatever, and we rolled up in there and sat down, and it was kind of just, it's an unreleased episode, but we pulled out our equipment and sat on the table out in the back outside and just started talking, ordered a pizza, and I think we got like 4 or 5 different Pilsners. It was like Italian, German. I mean, it was just, it was an entire, they were just half pours of just crispy Pilsners. And those were some of the best Pilsners I have ever had. That's what changed my mind, I think, about Pilsners. That and their Triberg from Living Waters. Yeah. It's kind of what turned me on to Pilsners.
Oh, man. That's like one of my favorite beers from them.
What's weird is like every time I taste a German Pilsner, it varies on how much I like it compared to the other Pilsner styles. So I really love like 2 out of 3 of the German style Pilsners that Living Waters has done, and I don't know what it is yet that turns me off from it, and thank you. I just don't, I'm curious what it is that's got me confused, I guess, because I just don't know. I haven't brewed before. I haven't home brewed or anything. He has, but I'm just blind in that aspect. So whenever I taste a beer, it's from a consumer standpoint. So
gotcha. Yeah.
It's the refreshingness, I think.
Yeah.
They're super Pilsners.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
they're super refreshing, and it kind of depends on the hop profile, because sometimes they don't use traditional hops. They might throw like a random one in there, and that might kind of just not take it completely away, but it's like, oh, you notice the difference. You're like, oh, you're a Pilsner, but it's like, you got a little extra bite.
Something
you got a little more attitude than the other ones. Yeah. So
that's what I like about how craft breweries do Pilsners. Is it takes a traditional Pilsner, whether it be an Italian or German style, and no disrespect to that, the OGs in general, but having something like that and putting a craft beer spin on it, like, adding hops, whether you dry hop it or you add a hop profile to it in the boil, something like that. Like Smith & Lentz is good at doing that. Southern Grist is good at doing that. Living Waters is good at doing that. It's just taking a Pilsner that would otherwise just be this mundane, although easy and super tasty beer, and just adding that American or craft beer like spin on things.
Right.
And that's what makes these new Pilsners so good, is they're hoppy and they're super tasty and crisp, and you could drink them on a hot day, you could drink them on a cold day, you could drink them anytime. Hell, I'd drink a Pilsner right now, and it's 20 degrees outside.
Oh yeah, not even a question.
Yes.
Not even a question.
Man,
what do you think about this one?
It's fantastic. It goes down easy. It's a little fruity. What was the description on the can again? I'm flying a little blind, but that's kind of when you drink craft beers, it's fun to hear what you and other people say before you know what it has.
Okay.
Right.
So this is a New England style IPA with Azacca, Zappa, and Strata hops. So it's kind of for a New England style IPA, it's a little bit juicier than I would expect for just a traditional New England IPA. Typical New England IPAs are a little drier on the end, although they're hazy, but they're not typically as sweet. But it's got those Azacca hops and the Zappa hops that kind of give it that extra zestiness to it.
Yeah.
Sure. But it's super good. I don't know the ABV on it. I want to say it's, just taste alone, 7-ish, 7.5. Did you see it anywhere on the can there, Mitch?
8%.
I was off.
That's how some of those get you right there. Like, oh, this only tastes like 6%.
This does not drink like an 8% at all.
We're going to be doing this all for the next hour, so we're going to stand up, and it's going to
Holy
really
shit.
kick our ass.
I thought there were some adjuncts in this.
No?
It's just
all
that fruity.
hops.
Yeah.
It's all the hops.
Yeah.
And a lot of those hops, like I feel like some of those are like aromatic hops where you don't, you're not gonna pull a lot of the flavor off of it, but it's all gonna be right here in your nose.
Oh yeah.
So you're gonna get like I get a bunch of tropical fruits, like maybe a little pineapple in there.
Yeah. I was thinking it was a little.
I've actually never smelled this one before. It's really sweet.
Yeah. Get a little like pineapple, maybe even like a little mango in there.
Pineapple.
Yeah.
That's what I get.
Yeah,
That's
pineapple.
exactly what that is. I couldn't put my finger on it until you said it.
Azaka and Zappa Strata hops. That's
The good news
wild,
is
man.
we're splitting all of these tonight.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, well, except for the Fenario, which I think is up next. Shout out to Jackalope.
That was damn good,
Yeah.
Pontoon. That was fantastic.
I like that.
So this next one, this was from the Bearded Brother himself, Kramer, bringing along some Jackalope Fenario. I'm a big fan of Fenario, so you brought 4 of them.
Yes.
I'm tempted to just have a can by myself. I don't know if anybody's gonna gonna hate me.
I don't
on
blame
that
you.
one. All right.
I don't blame you.
I'm in for a can if it's.
Yeah,
if
you have
it's
to
up.
take some home too. So those are
All right.
about a couple days old. So like this is fresh off the bright tank.
I'm
So-
excited. It's been a minute for me since I've had a Jackalope beer.
Oh yeah.
So thank you for bringing some.
Oh yeah, it was definitely like a refreshing reminder working there.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've had this stuff and I always knew this stuff was good, and then working there and having some of the stuff, I'm like, oh yeah, this stuff is like not just good, it's really good.
Really good.
Like their Sarka, speaking of like pilsners, they are on the more it's more on the hoppier side,
I like that.
but it's still super easy. Almost, it's really spritzy and
It's called
I like
what?
Sarka. It's in
I have not
a
heard
light
of that
blue can.
before.
It's in a light blue can,
Okay.
yellow writing, and that's like the brew house's like go to like head brewer. I work in the cellar or canning, and everybody back there that's like our like default. You're like, I want beer, but I don't know what I want. Sarka,
Sorry.
That's what you go for.
Sarka every time.
Got it.
And so it's just clean. I like to call it. It's crispy. It's a little crisper. I almost want to say it's like crunch. It has like a crunch to it. Like it reminds me of like when you crumple up paper and when you drink it, you're like, oh yeah, but it's nice.
The
And
crunchiness to it.
Yeah.
I've never heard somebody describe a beer's flavor as if they were crumpling up paper before.
I like
but in
that.
the best way possible.
Yes.
like
Hey,
I don't
no,
want to be like, oh,
I've heard weird descriptions before, but that somehow fits a flavor profile.
No, that's
somehow.
a.
I get it.
That's what is it? ASMR almost. If you do like light crinkling and with that
Yeah.
soft
Oh, yeah.
voice. That
Yes.
So I just poured a little bit of this. It's got a good foamy head to it and a really good color.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, this is more like our
Nice and clear.
comparatively our West Coast
Oh, that's super.
IPA.
I love that color, man. Slightly caramely looking.
Oh
but
yeah.
Just, I mean,
When there's
Oh,
an
yeah.
IPA pours like this, you know you're in for
Oh,
a big
yeah.
hop ride for
and
sure.
you said these are fresh off the line too. Only a couple of days old in the can, right?
Yep.
Give or take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we can at Lily on Wednesday,
Okay.
Nice.
Tuesday, Wednesday.
I don't know
one
if
of
I've
those
ever
days.
had an IPA straight
Ooh.
out that fresh before.
I didn't know Jackalope did little descriptions here. I'm going to read off of it.
I'll do
Oh
it.
yeah, all the cans have a little.
Love it.
Do it.
It's a little dark over here.
Oh,
I
okay.
finally read the top part. Drink legendary. A wolf roams the forest. Fenario. Sorry on that one. Slipping through shadows and glades. Round cabins he creeps. At windows he peeks. Hoping for diamonds and spades. Give him a seat at the table. Pour him a pint of the beer. Deal me in, he says with a grin. I promise there's nothing to fear. I could have read that better if I read it earlier.
It's
I'm
all
already a
good.
couple beers
Couple
in.
beers in.
I've worked all day, and I'm finally feeling that edge wear off. So-
Right.
And it's the weekend now.
Yep.
What?
So it's all good. It is.
Sweet.
Yeah. For us IT guys, it's only 2 work days left in the week.
Nice. I dig the can art too with the wolf and I guess it's howling at the moon, and it's got Fenario IPA in the
Yes.
background on top of the moon,
I'm looking for the ABV.
shooting stars.
7.2.
Okay. Nice. Good
So it's-
middle of the road from an ABV standpoint. I
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
like they kind of hit. They're really good about doing like the styles in the styles that they are, which is really great.
How'd you score that with Jackalope? That'd be an interesting story.
Oh man, like I said, I've always been a fan of them. And after a point, like I was working, but I knew I loved beer. I was like, I want to get in this space as much as I can. And I was just starting to check jobs around the breweries. Like I said, I worked at Tailgate for a little bit right before COVID. Like the pandemic started, but I was working at Whole Foods at the time, so I wasn't working a lot at Tailgate.
Yeah.
And then, unfortunately, like a lot of companies had to let people go.
Yeah.
I was working maybe a shift every pay period, maybe
Wow.
2.
Okay.
Shit.
Not
I was
much
like-
at all.
Yeah, and so I was just like, I just like kind of just sacrificed myself. I was like, I don't work a lot here to justify me being here once or twice a paycheck. So that's once or twice every 2 weeks.
Right.
I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go. Like, just
Yes.
give somebody else those shifts because you're taking away shifts from them that might
Right.
need it more than I do at this time. And so I just started worked there, worked other places, and then I was just like, you know what, screw it. I'm getting into the craft beer industry, and it just so happened that I had the seller position at Jackalope. I already had a good relationship with the owners. Shout out Bailey and Steve over there. And I applied, interviewed, and I started like a couple weeks later, and then been there ever since, and loving every minute of it, understanding the science, understanding how we go from pouring grain into the mash tun to canning and kegging and sitting it out on the trucks out
that's
out into the wild. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like watching a kid grow up. It's just like a little tear every time it drops off when they get picked up into the truck. I'm like,
Yeah.
I raised you well.
There goes that one.
Now that is a children's
great.
book that needs to be written.
It really does.
Hello, beer.
Hello, beer.
I'm gonna work on that.
There you go.
Please
that's,
do.
That's
Please
the
do.
next event. Hello, beer.
Yes.
Foam Heads, you guys will get the forward in that child's book.
Yes.
Mitch actually got me for so I've got a 2-year-old, and one of the books I like to read to my son is a book that Mitch got me here. It's called Goodnight Brew, and it's a
I love it.
It's
Yes.
definitely a take on the children's
Goodnight Moon.
Goodnight Moon, like
Good night, bro. I
Yeah.
need to remember that
And
when
it's
we
so
have kids
good.
because I'm reading that to my
super
children.
It's
like
so cool.
rhyming about the mash tun and the hops and everything. It's perfect, and it's illustrated perfectly for kids. My son Gavin is just super. He's into it. Every time we open the book, it's super popping with colors, and it's just it's me. It fits me to a T, and Mitch definitely saw that when he picked it up. So
It's got tanks in it.
Yeah.
Instead of like the bedroom with like closets or chest and drawer.
Chester drawers?
I don't have kids, so I don't know.
don't be the fun uncle if you can.
Yeah, that's the world I'm in right now.
Oh, okay.
So I
Yeah.
definitely do want kids eventually. And actually, just a heads up, we're getting Good Night Brew. That's like one of the first things I'm buying.
Hands
Once I
down.
find out we're having a kid. That's the first thing I'm buying.
That's awesome.
Follow it up with Hello Beer. You're set,
Oh yeah.
dude.
Hello, beer by the Beerded Brother.
Read that to him when he turns 21. Hello, beer.
Yes.
You read it to him when he's 17, so that he's educated enough when he is 21 to buy
So
it.
he just opens it. It's like, the day has come, son.
That's right.
You are here.
That's when the light shines out of the book.
Would you still be like Papa Squat?
Yeah,
You know?
I think I would.
Just what? Yeah.
Yeah,
For all
you're-
time's
as a
sake.
dad,
Pull out-
your son's never too old to
It's
just
time.
kind of put. Yeah,
It's
exactly.
time.
That's the phrase.
You're
It's
21
time.
now.
That's right.
Right here. One.
Yes.
For old time's sake, buddy.
You know,
Read you-
on that
As-
subject, actually.
Yeah.
That's what I love about the craft beer community. So Asheville is just explosive with that kind of environment.
Oh.
Yes.
I still gotta go.
New Belgium is probably and we talked with Ale about this a few episodes back, but I remember, like, and this was before we had kids, but my wife and I went to Asheville, and just kind of the city is beautiful in general, but it's a good craft beer city, so you can park in the middle and just kind of stagger your way around downtown and throw a rock at 15 breweries, but a little ways out is New Belgium, and you go to New Belgium, and it's just a huge outdoor area with park benches and places to sit, and we went there, and parents were just sitting there enjoying a beer, and their kids were running around in the fields out there throwing stuff, and just adults were playing cornhole, and the kids were running and grabbing the little bean bags and bringing them back, and that was for me the turning point where I went, people like to paint pictures of people just like to get drunk on beer, and that's it. That's kind of like saying that people that smoke cigars just like to smoke cigarettes just to get a fix all day. Like, that's not what craft beer is for. It's to enjoy. Now, has some good side effects to it,
Right.
You get to feel good
Can't
in
you
the
just
end.
enjoy it to get drunk?
Yeah,
but
but
you're not giving the full potential.
Exactly,
Right.
exactly. But that's what got me into, just the enjoyment of, I want to be able to take my son somewhere and I can say, hey, look, it's not bad to sit down and have a good brew and a beverage while you go out and have fun and enjoy yourself. Because he's not going to see his dad sit there and get shit-faced drunk and walk around. He's gonna have a good time, and he's gonna relax. He's gonna understand responsibility, and his son's gonna get to have fun in the process.
Right.
Yeah. So for me, that was the turning point, was going to New Belgium in Asheville, North Carolina, and seeing that take place.
I got the opportunity to help my brother move from Fort Collins all the way back to Tennessee.
Oh, wow.
And
The opportunity, huh?
yeah, he paid my trip with a journey to New Belgium's campus at Fort Collins.
Nice.
Like the OG spot.
Yeah, and apparently it was like a 1.5-year wait list. So I think he just shooed me in instead of somebody else, but but it was fun. We were able to, they have a wait list for a tour, but they give you beers that are like coming off the line or expected releases that aren't out yet and all that kind of stuff. And big campus, lots of games, very family centric, and it definitely brought in a new idea to like how you'd be able to bring your family there and have dinner and a couple brews and just have a good time.
Right.
And I mean, what better way to enjoy craft beer than with the ones you love?
Right.
I mean, it's a
only makes
no-brainer.
sense.
Yeah.
So-
Hands down.
But a 1.5 wait list for it.
Yeah, that I haven't even checked that, but I don't know
heard
what
that
else.
about their jobs out there, to work. They got people. Rumor never confirmed. People will sit jobless and just wait for the opportunity to come up
Really?
for someone to leave and then get pulled in.
Oh,
They're like,
man.
yeah, I quit and just waiting. I was like, again, haven't confirmed. Don't know if that's real news or
Right.
fake news.
Yeah.
Fake news.
It's just
Man,
that's what I heard from the grapevine. So
awesome.
I would definitely I would apply for a wait time myself because I think it's employee owned at this time.
It is.
So-
yes, still is.
I mean, that's a wonderful thing.
I
It's
remember
beautiful.
hearing about that when we were at the Asheville location. Is they were talking about how all of the employees there, like when you work at New Belgium, whether it is the Fort Collins, home base or the Asheville satellite location, every employee gets a piece of the company, like it's employee-owned brewery.
Yeah.
That's super dope.
that's awesome. And I heard they got great benefits. They send you on trips and
Yeah.
you get I think a year you get a bike. 3 years they send you to Belgium.
Yes.
All expenses paid.
Yes.
To learn about beer.
Now that you say that, it does occur to me they went through that on the tour. It almost makes you want to quit what you're
Right.
doing to join them on
In
the
the
tour.
wrong fucking industry.
I know,
man.
right?
Damn,
Their
man.
bicycles are no joke either. They look nice.
That old school, old style
Those
bike.
old Huffies. And
Yeah, with the real thin rims and the real thin tires. Yeah.
You feel like you're in the 50s again.
Yes, yes.
Have you been to any of the New Belgium locations, whether it be Asheville or Fort Collins?
No, I haven't. I was supposed to go to Asheville last year. I got really sick and unfortunately couldn't go. Not COVID related, thankfully.
Isn't that funny how that's the question everybody asked when you got sick? Oh, was it COVID?
No.
3 years ago,
It
that
was not.
wouldn't have been a question.
No, not oh, you just got sick. What happened? No, it wasn't COVID related. It was,
Well, before 2020, we got sick more frequently, I feel like, of
Yeah.
many different things.
Yes.
And then,
Right.
COVID's the main threat for sure for the past 3 years now. It feels almost.
right.
Going on 3 years.
The timeline is screwed for me.
Yeah.
2020
Very much.
really just,
It didn't exist.
Yeah.
It didn't happen.
yeah. And now it's just time escapes me. I don't know.
Yeah. I finally figured out time is a social construct.
Yes.
I
Yes.
don't even. It's hard. I know. the first sunrise of the week, I'm supposed to go to work. Let me go to work. Like,
I'm checking the sky nowadays.
it's like, oh, this is the first sunrise, and like, okay, yeah, it's that thing they called Monday, so I think I do got to go to work today. And then sunrise, I'm like, oh, I guess it's time to sleep because it's dark outside. It's dark. Like,
man,
I would definitely recommend an Asheville trip if that's still on the horizon for you. Then
yes,
hands down, Brahmari
I gotta redeem
Brewing,
myself.
Wicked Weed,
Yes.
just everything.
I think they got a high wire location out there.
They've got a high wire location.
I love
there.
high wire.
Yep,
They can do no wrong when it
they've
comes
got
to beer.
two actually in Asheville. So Highwire has 2 locations in that. They've got one near the Biltmore.
That's the one I saw.
Yep, and then they've got a Big Top location, which is kind of more of a. It's a smaller location. It's more indoors. It's not like this. The one near the Biltmore is kind of more of like a it's got an outdoor area, but it's got a huge like indoor facility style, and it's got a gift shop and a big tap wall and everything like that. And then their smaller location is just a smaller building, obviously just as many taps, and I think they do for the most part the same brews at each location, but they've got a couple of different beers that they only serve at those locations.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, a Burial out there. They also got the
Burial.
forestry camp.
Forestry camp, yep.
That's where they got food.
Yes, so it's that's where Burial does all of their so their original Burial location is now done with just they use the one-offs and like the cool like unique beers that they do.
Yeah.
And Forestry Camp is where they do their base beers, and then they always have tons of taps with like collaborations with different breweries. Ooh. And they do brunch, and they've got this whole restaurant, and it's just the food's amazing, the beer is amazing, and you can get a beer at 9 o'clock in the morning if you wake up and you want to go get one. Forestry Camp, top notch.
Gotta go there.
Hands
Burial.
down. Burial's where it's at.
If you want an 8 a.m. beer in Nashville,
Yes.
Living Waters.
Yes.
And yes.
Yes.
Like Shawnee told me, she's like, yeah, I went to work there one day, and I was like, I was gonna get coffee, and then she's like, out of the blue, she's like, can I get a beer? It's 8:30. They're like, yeah.
I didn't know they could. Yeah, they do that.
Yeah.
I think the only restrictions might be Sunday, but I don't know Tennessee law anymore.
Tennessee's actually opening up. Good for them.
Yes.
Slowly but surely.
Yeah.
I saw a CBD sign like a year and a half ago, just out of the blue. It was like no ad, no fanfare. I was just getting off the highway. I was like,
yeah.
like CBD, like
right.
like.
Are you playing with me right
Weed's
now?
like weird cousin CBD
Right, yeah.
here in Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
No way. I ended up going just to the store because I was like,
I
just
did the
didn't
same
believe
thing.
it.
Yeah.
I was like, no way. I walked in. I was like, how long y'all been here? They're like, we've been here like a few months. No one just talks about it. I guess it's just like Tennessee lawmakers are like, we're kind of ashamed we let this happen because that's our campaign strategy. But if we don't say anything, I don't think anybody's going to put 2 and 2 together.
Right. And I definitely enjoying the recent advertisements. And, at this point, it just needs just legalize the shit. Come on.
Just let it happen.
What the fuck? And
you're already doing it anyway.
Yes. I mean,
let
there
the
are
other people do
there's
it.
signs now that are like legal THC. And I'm like, oh, when'd that start? That's kind of a cool marketing thing.
Right.
I like this. I like this.
It's just Delta 8.
Yeah.
Man, I don't fuck with
It's
Delta
all,
8.
You
I
know,
can't do Delta 8.
it's a lot of math involved with that. And when I see the sign, I'm like, I believe you. All right. And I want to see that more prevalent everywhere. Just get it done.
Yeah.
Right. They tried to pass bills here multiple times and got shot down almost like as soon as it got like brought to the board. Like, yeah, nope, that's something we throw it away.
It gets so close, I feel like, but every time.
Well, I think back to, and this was probably 7 years ago, when Tennessee used to not allow grocery stores or just places that sell beer to serve anything over 6%. Like,
yeah, that's like 6 years ago. It's not.
It wasn't that long ago.
Oh, it blows my mind.
It was a blink away.
Yeah. Sam Adams.
Literally the other day.
Yeah. Yes.
And then when you take the 2 years of COVID out, it's even sooner than that.
Right.
Yeah, because those last 2 years just didn't happen. But it's weird because you'd walk into a grocery store and like you could see like Bud Light Platinum was at 6.2%, and that was like a high gravity beer, and like that was the most you could get in a grocery store. If you wanted to get if you wanted to get anything higher than 6.2%, you'd have to go to a liquor store.
Mm-hmm.
It was a completely different license. Now, I'm sure to this day it still is.
Yep,
But
it is.
that being said, you can walk into a grocery store, and as soon as they pass that, I mean, like, Jackalope started entering grocery stores.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Yazoo started coming in with some of their other stuff. And Dogfish Head was able to come back to Tennessee, you know, because it was
New
just
Heights
like
slipped in.
New Heights.
New Heights did it right. They got a distilling license.
Yes.
Oh.
That's the difference. So now they not restricted by that 10.1% rule.
Ooh,
That's why their
gotcha.
navel gazers, you see them around town. They do those barrel ages.
Oh, they're barrel aged navel gazers.
They'll
are
barrel
on
age something
point.
from 1901. I'm like, how
Yeah.
old are y'all as a brewery, honestly?
Who had that barrel in
like,
1901?
what are you doing?
Yeah.
Because they'll release stuff like, yeah, we had this for 42 months.
Oh my
And
gosh.
I was like, aren't y'all only 40 months old?
Right.
Like y'all not super old of a brewery. Like
Somebody
I
had
think
a
they're
crystal
5
ball.
years.
Yeah.
I know you're New Heights, but are you Old Heights?
They're old Heights, too.
Right. I was like, y'all been around longer. Y'all
At
must
least
have been a
being
different name
middle-aged
or
Heights.
something. Like y'all are y'all are Boomer Heights. Like,
Yes.
what
Yeah.
is going on?
Boomer Heights.
Like y'all are older than y'all say y'all are. But they did it right. It was
Yes.
if anything goes over 10.1, we're good because technically we're a distillery, but not really.
Yeah.
So we can do 14% navel gazers to put in the bottle and sell it to you.
So is 10.1, is that the line?
Yeah,
Okay. Unless you have unless you have a liquor license.
the liquor
Or
distilling
Distiller,
license.
you can't
Yeah.
brew anything. You can't sell anything over a 10.1.
You can have a
Interesting.
liquor license, but that's only to sell liquor. So you can make a whiskey drink at a brewery. I think
Yeah.
places like Tailgate has that. You look at their shelf in the back at their OG headquarters location, they'll have whiskey and some vodka and stuff, but they can only sell. They can't.
Pour it for you, and you can't enjoy it. In the
You
tap
can
room.
you can pour it, but they can't make anything above 10.1 because I don't
Got
think
it.
they have a distilling license. Feel free, anybody at Tailgate, if I'm wrong, correct me. But yeah, I think, I can only think of New Heights being the only Nashville brewery that has a distilling license.
I'm sure there's a couple more at this point.
I'm sure, yeah,
Surely.
but I just know, not Tennessee. New Heights is right off the bat they have
Right.
that license, so
Yeah.
they can just be like, "Yep, we're gonna make a 14% beer just because we can," and no one can say anything to us.
New Heights is dope because I remember you and I went there one day, Mitch, and we got just a
It's been a minute.
I need to go back and get their what's their super hoppy 200 plus IBUs. They have a super hoppy IPA, but they had when we went there that one day
They
they
had a few.
Huh?
Yeah.
They have a few.
They do have a few, yeah. Oh, they're West Coast, right? Because
Yeah.
They come from New
That
Heights.
Mohawk
They came
one,
from San
I think?
Diego.
The Mohawk.
Yeah, I'm
Is it
trying
that
to.
one?
I think so. I'm
Yes,
trying to
the
remember.
hop lily has
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
that one.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the name of it. But yeah, those guys are definitely from California, and they came over here. But when we went there, Mitch, one day they had just all different variants of navel gazer, and you could buy them in bottles and take it back
Right.
with you, and they were all 14%. It's like Jesus.
I did get. It was,
Pappy Van Winkle. They had a Pappy Van Winkle navel gazer.
I don't have that one.
I think they had that one that
yeah.
day. But Weller's.
Yeah.
You have a Weller's one?
I think I do.
I had a Weller's one and
Oh man.
had to break it open.
Oh, yes.
I can't keep
can't
navel
not
gazer
drink-
in my house.
Nope.
I can't do it.
No.
I've still got 2-year-old ones. I think. I'm really bad at hoarding beers. That's why some of my IPAs go bad. I'm awful with craft beer when it comes to private stock.
Oh yeah, I'm terrible. But also at the same time, I know that.
Yeah.
So it's just I'm not gonna get anything that I have to hold.
Yeah.
I try not to, but unless it's just something that's just everybody's supposed to have, an arrogant bastard,
Yes.
or
Yes.
something like that. It's
Yeah.
Open by or whatever.
or something like Trillium, that you can't get your hands on
Right.
here. And so it's I'll hold on to things like that. But
Yes.
if I was you know what, Bearded Iris put out something in a bottle, I could probably get that again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll drink that immediately and just get
Yeah.
another one if I like it.
For sure. For sure.
Bearded Irish was, and we'll be cracking open one of those stouts here probably in a little bit. And I'm
Yeah.
interested in hearing about the rollout stout, but Bearded Iris has a unique business model in the sense that they were one of the first, if not the first, craft brewery in the area to do like every other week they're just releasing new IPAs. Every other week. Every week. It was just something new,
Them
something
or
different.
Southern Grace, whoever. One of them were
They
first.
both came out around the same time. I think it was Bearded Iris that was first, and it was just like I inadvertently found myself going, oh, I have to go get the new Bearded Iris IPA. At the end of the day, most of their IPAs have the same base, and they just have a different hop profile, and that's enough to change the flavor for me for me to make it want one. But they were kind of one of the first in the industry to do that, and so when we talk about like when you just said, oh, if it's a Bearded Irish Stout or a Bearded Irish IPA, it's like I'm gonna get it. I don't know if I'm going to hold on to it because I know in like 6 months, 7 months, they'll probably do it again. Yeah. And then I'll be able to get it then. So if I don't get it this time, I'll just wait a little while, and in 6 months, it'll come out again. Very true. And that's what I like about that is I don't have to hold that beer if I don't want to. I can drink it now, reminisce on it, and go, damn, I wish I could have that beer again. And then all of a sudden it comes out again, and I'd be good to go.
Right.
Man, I think it's about a good time for a rinse break.
I agree.
Yep.
So we'll be right back. The Foamy Heads would like to give a big shout out to the Beerded Brotha for joining us at Smokers Abbey. The discussions were so good that we went into overtime. Don't worry, we had plenty of beers to keep the conversations flowing. Make sure to catch us next time for part 2, as we get into some deeper craft beer conversations and some heavy brews. Be sure to find both the Beerded Brotha and the Foamy Heads on Instagram, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere you listen. Leave us some reviews. Those help us out a lot online. And be on the lookout for the Beerded Brotha Season 2 of the Bearded Tastings, which are dropping right now. You're probably behind a few episodes, so you should go check them out. Thanks for listening. Cheers.